Brevite did it. They fixed their one and only issue with the jumper. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Zach. I'm a photographer and videographer, but more important than that, I'm a husband and a father. And about a year ago, Brevite sent me this jumper bag to try out as my everyday carry bag. Now, as a dad, as a pastor, as a videographer, photographer, I've got a lot of different hats that I wear. And over the years, I've had different bags that were solely for photography and videography gear, bags that were solely for my church job, bags that were solely for being a dad, like a diaper bag. But I wanted a bag that kind of fit every hat that I was wearing. And so when Brevite sent me this bag, I was like, yeah, I'll try it out. It seems like it's a good fit. There's a video camera pouch down below, and then like a normal backpack pouch up top where I put books and stuff. And I liked it. I really liked it. I loved the color. I loved the design. I loved the fabric. There was one big issue that I just absolutely could not get past, and that was their dividers. Their dividers sucked. Sorry, Brevite. We've talked about this. You know I don't like them, but they really were not good, and that I just couldn't get past. Now, the cool thing was that Brevite actually reached out. The owners of Brevite reached out and they said, hey, we liked your video. We want to hear your thoughts on the bag and how we can make it better. And I told them my one big complaint is the dividers. The biggest thing was like you just had one specific setup that you could do inside the bag because they were so set for a specific thing. And then also stuff would slide under and move around because they only had Velcro on the sides and not the bottom. And I said, you know, if I use this bag, I actually have to pull dividers from another bag that are a lot better because I just can't use your dividers. Let me show you their dividers actually. So these were their old dividers that came with the bag. They've got good protection. They match the color of the bag, but that's about where the goodness stops. Like I said, they've only got Velcro on the sides, nothing on the bottom, and it really is only set up for like one, maybe two configurations. And I just didn't like that. I think it was mainly meant for people who are carrying like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. And that's not what I carry in my camera pouch. And so it just wasn't ideal for me. But a couple weeks back, they sent me a package. They said, hey, we got something to send to you. I want you to see it, let us know what you think. And when I opened it, I was thrilled to see new dividers. So I'm gonna talk about these new dividers. I thought I'll also give you a quick breakdown of what is in my everyday carry bag while I'm doing it. So these new dividers, so much better. First off, as you're seeing some of the stuff I'm pulling out of this bag, like I'm not carrying a big DSLR or mirrorless camera. I'm carrying small cameras. I'm carrying, you know, things that don't necessarily fit the big layout that Brevite had originally designed. And I think that's okay. I think more people are starting to carry these smaller EDC sort of cameras, street cameras. And so I think that's important for us to be aware of. Now, here's the cool thing. So they sent me one long divider, two corner dividers, and then I've got a third divider up there that's just a sort of blank square in between. But I didn't need that one. And what the best part is that, let me rip one of these up. They've got Velcro on the bottom now. Now, not every single spot has Velcro, but it's enough to keep these in place and to keep things from moving around when you're walking and moving. And that's a huge deal. So both of these corner dividers have Velcro, and then the long divider has Velcro as well. Now, I'd say my bag is laid out kind of weird. I don't know if everyone would use this layout, but it's what works for me. I wanted to have my cameras closest to this side pouch so I could have access, but I'm carrying both the Fujifilm X-T30 as my everyday carry camera, my family camera, so I just slide it in there. And there's definitely a bit of a gap. There's definitely like space in there for that to slide around, but I tried to fit this long divider in there as close to it as I can so that it doesn't move. And then I just take my Pocket 3 and literally set it right on top. Yeah, it can bounce around a little bit, but it's not that bad. I then have this Anker Prime 20,000 milliamp battery that slides right in this pouch. It's nice and snug, it doesn't move around too much. I've got my DJI Mic 2 system that just goes right in here. And then on top of that goes my extra batteries for my Fujifilm and some SD cards in this cool Lano dual charger case. I talked about this in a different video, so check that out. This pocket over here is typically where I put some action cameras if I'm taking them with me. So right now I've got the Insta360 Go 3S. I was using an Insta360 One RS for a little bit, testing that out. Didn't really love it, so I'm back to the Go 3S. And then in here will be like my hard drives. I might throw a couple of other things in this little pouch, but most everything is fit in here pretty snug. It's easy accessible and they don't move around, which is the best part. Now, again, I love this Brevite bag because it keeps everything divided so well. So in this top pouch, I'll go ahead and continue showing you what I got in here. There's 4 little elastic dividers, and then enough space to kind of drop stuff in the middle. So in the middle, I just keep some hand lotion. In one of these dividers, I've got my Plod AI for note taking, super cool little thing. And then an Anchor battery pack for my phone. Over here, I've got some chargers, because you know, there's always times where you need cables. I've got this Anchor dongle adapter for all sorts of stuff. Comes in handy every once in a while. Flashlight, that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much what lives in this top pouch. But this has been, honestly, this little pouch has been super surprising. I feel like I don't get into the camera pouch as much as I get into this little pouch. You know, between pulling out pins and cables and stuff like that, like it's just been super nice to have that very accessible and very handy. So I like that. And then in the top pouch, this is where I carry like all my books, stuff like that. They come in handy for my job at the church. I've got a planner, my notepad for the church, just a little field notes for random stuff. I've got my Bible right here. And then I've got 2 books that I'm kind of reading right now. One is this All Is Made kind of creators guide to focusing on God from Alabaster. It's been really cool to read. And then I'm starting on, get that random piece of paper out of here, starting on Fighting Shadows by John Tyson and Jefferson Bethke. But it's super handy to be able to kind of have my stuff divided and still be able to carry camera stuff and church books, stuff like that. And then if there are days where I'm going out with the family, I can take out all my books and I can throw in kids snacks, an extra diaper, random stuff that, you know, the kids need in this pocket, and it's super handy. This is, again, was my everyday carry bag for a little while. I got away from it because I couldn't just deal with the dividers. But now that Brevite has remedied that, this is back to being my everyday carry, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So if you want to check out Brevite, I'll leave a link down below. Thank you, Brevite, for hearing me, for listening to me, and taking the time to talk with me, and for adjusting the things that, you know, could be adjusted. That's what I think is so cool, is that Brevite is actually listening to their customers. They're actually trying to figure out, okay, what can make our products better? So anyways, thank you, Brevite, for sending that, for reaching out. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.